Before I get started with today's episode, I wanted to just take a minute to acknowledge the yuck that is happening, that the world has been witnessing, that those in the States have been witnessing over the past several weeks, but really heightened this past week. And what I want to say, and what I've been saying for a very long time, is that when the news gets heavy, when the world feels rough, when it feels unsafe and insecure, our homes are the places that we fall into. Our homes are the places that nurture those that we love, that welcome us after a really long, hard day, that see the tears that we shed when we watch the news unfolding right before our eyes. And so, friend, as sometimes when I begin to think how teaching all of you ways that you can love your home a little bit more, ways that your homes can nurture you a little bit more feels frivolous, it's reminders like this, it's weeks like this that tell me keep on going, keep on doing it. Because although we don't want to encourage recluse behavior, and of course reckless behavior, but hermit behavior, that's not the goal. The goal is to create spaces that nurture, that fill us up, that feel safe, that are warm, that are loving, that are inviting for no matter who you invite into those four walls. So I just wanted to acknowledge that Fig and Farm at Home is a safe place. We are a company that stands in unity and believes in people, and believes in the goodness of people first, and does not condone any of the crud that we're seeing. So I just wanted to let that be known before we move into today's episode. I didn't think it felt right to not share what has been so heavily weighing on my heart, and probably yours. So forgive the shaky voice, but know that for any of you who need a little extra hug, a little extra encouragement, know that there's one coming right from me, right to you. All right, friend, enjoy today's episode. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is, but our culture has shifted, and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style, where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. I have a really amazing mechanic. Now, before you wonder, what is Danny doing? Are we talking about cars now? No, we're not. But I want to tell you this. My mechanic is so wonderful, and if you don't have one like this, you need to go find one because they are out there. But every once in a while, I take my car in because I see the warning lights. I see those flashing signs. I might hear the sounds. I might hear the clinks. I might feel the unsteadiness in my car, and I think, uh-oh, because I am not an expert on this, I'm going to have to spend what I think is probably hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to fix it. Because I know the alternative, buying a new car, that's just not realistic. But I don't know how many times I've gone in to the mechanic with that scenario in mind, and I've walked away so pleasantly surprised when he says, oh, yeah, well, it might be that problem, but actually we're going to fix this first. Oh no, we don't need to do those 5 things that you think it might be because you did the Google research beforehand thinking that you knew what it was that needed to be done. No, put that away. Those are the things that are not important. This is the thing that's important, and actually it doesn't cost you very much. I love service providers like that. I love them. They're honest and they're true, and they don't want to swindle you for the next buck. So why am I telling you this? Last week in our conversation, we talked a little bit about how sometimes the generation or the collection of ideas was the thing that was really keeping you stuck. It was the thing that was keeping you from moving forward. And sometimes that culprit is Pinterest. Sometimes it's just scrolling on Instagram, or maybe having too many HGTV magazines or inspiration ideas at your fingertips. But I want to talk a little bit more about the ideas, because even though the collection of ideas can be a stumbling block, there's something else to it. And that something else kind of works like that wonderful service provider I just told you about, the mechanic, who said, no, you actually don't need to do these 5 things. Let's work on this one thing. That's it. That is it. Don't waste your money. Put your money back in your pocket. Put your credit card away. Wouldn't that be nice? So I want you to think about this. The ideas and the accumulation of ideas, yes, that can be a problem, like we talked about last week. But the ideas themselves don't fail you. They just don't come with instructions. They're not an IKEA piece of furniture that comes with a bazillion instructions and 5 tools. They're not that. Don't you wish they were that? Don't you wish that every decision you want to make in your home was as easy as pulling out the manual and you could just say, oh, I do this first and do this second and do this third? So ideas by themselves are not the problem. But ideas don't tell you when to not buy the product. They don't tell you when you should spend a little bit more on a product versus another. They don't tell you which thing is going to make the biggest impact in your home or not. They don't tell you which items need to be skipped entirely because they're just not serving its purpose. They don't tell you how to pace your budget, where to spend your money and when to spend it. Ideas don't do that. So ideas in theory aren't necessarily the problem. But if we think about every idea becoming a decision, that becomes really powerful. Every idea is a decision, and those decisions can feel equally important. What do I do first? What do I do second? What do I get rid of? What do I spend my money on? Do I buy the couch first? Do I buy the curtains first? Do I even need curtains? Do I need the curtains and the blinds? What about this valance? That looks outdated. Is it outdated? I don't know. When ideas become a little bit overwhelming, those turn into decisions that need to be made. And when you don't have the right pathway in order to access those decisions or make those decisions, sometimes it leads to things like overwhelm, or decision fatigue, or analysis paralysis, or I just won't even say paralysis. It just leads to that feeling stuck. So nothing feels safe. No decision feels safe because it is tied then to that emotion of maybe what you did last time that didn't quite work out. And when that happens, it leads to rooms half finished, stalled ideas that were actually turning into action, and ultimately homes that you're not necessarily fond of, rooms that you don't feel comfortable enough inviting your friends over to, homes that feel like more work than they do a respite. So I want you to think about this. Decision fatigue isn't caused by too many choices. It's caused by too many unranked choices. This idea that you don't know necessarily what to do first, what to do second, what to do 10th, what to do last. Those are unranked choices. Those are unranked decisions. And when you don't know what to do and when to do it, you don't know necessarily where to put your money and how that can work for you rather than against you. When I work with clients, we have a very clear order of operations. Usually that first call is an idea generator. We're going back and forth and talking about ideas that they have, ideas that I see from first impressions, getting a sense of what the goals are for the room and the functionality, what they want the room to do for them. And all of that is really, really good. But it goes into that compartment of idea collection. What happens next is incredibly important. Knowing that every idea is a decision, and that every decision feels equally important. How does that client know what to do first or what to do second? How do they know the order of priority? When you know a clear order of operations, you're able to filter and order those decisions. You're able to say, this matters now, this aligns with my budget, I can stop here, I can save now, this isn't necessary at all, maybe I'll come back and revisit it. Very similarly to when I go and visit my mechanic. No, you don't need to do that right now. Or no, you know what, this change here is actually going to affect the thing that you think is really the problem. So don't worry about it. Last year, I ran a boot camp that was a really fun boot camp. And it was a 3-day better than basics boot camp is what I called it. And it was a 3-day workshop where I taught the students who came. I taught them how to understand their design style. I taught them how to create a mood board so that they could see the pieces that they wanted for their room in relation to each other. And then I taught them how to use this tool that I created called the Redecorating Roadmap. And that Redecorating Roadmap is that decision-making tool. It's like the order of operations. What matters now? What doesn't matter now? What can wait? What you don't need to spend your money on because you might have already done it? And what aligns with your budget or not? One of the gals who took that workshop was so incredibly enamored by it. She's a financial planner, and so sometimes that order and the numerical order and even order of importance is really, really important to her. And seeing those items, the things that she wanted to do outlined in this roadmap was impactful, was powerful for her. I had another gal who said, oh my gosh, where was this tool? I've needed this tool forever. Where was that? Why is this not accessible everywhere else? Well, and I'll tell you why. The fancy pants designers don't want to tell you what the order of importance is. They want to do all of the work for you, right? Their goal is not to teach you so that you can then do it on your own the next room you try. That's not their goal. Their goal is to use the products that they recommend to line their coffers. And this isn't a bad thing, right? This is just business. But it's not to honor people like you and me who have real homes that really need to work for us, that don't really have huge budgets. And so there's a disconnect there. That's one of the reasons why I love working with real homeowners, is because I get to be kind of like that car mechanic and say, hold on a second, put your credit card away. I don't know how many times I've had to say, put your credit card away. Do not buy that. Don't do that. That decision that we think we need to make, that is actually one that we're going to put very last on the list, because I don't want you to waste your money. And when you have a guide like that, giving you those instructions and that step-by-step reassurance, wow, confidence soars. It soars in ways that allow you to finally finish the room that has been keeping you stuck for so long. It gives you the confidence to finally work past that idea bank, that decision fatigue that comes from collecting those ideas. It gives you the confidence to move past that and into having a home that you then really, really enjoy. A home that doesn't just feel like, it's fine, but it's not quite right. It's not quite done. Or it's been sitting in the doldrum of raising kids, and now that the kids are gone, it's just there's no adjective to describe what it is. It's just. So what I want you to remember is that ideas are great, but having a roadmap is really empowering. It is the tool that helps you know when to start, know where to start, and definitely know when to stop, what to spend your money on and what not to. So if you are struggling with that idea of, I've got too many ideas, that those too many ideas are leading to too many decisions, and those decisions are leading to decision fatigue, listen, friend, I have something for you. I want you to come and grab my free design guide. This is where I teach you the very, very first and the very most important thing that you can do in order to get started. And that is learning your design style. I call it your aesthetic, because there's something different about a global style and your personalized aesthetic. A global style is really rather generic. It's a little bit more broad. It's a little bit more mundane is not quite the right word, but it's just a little bit more broad. But your aesthetic allows you to combine or cross over different style genres. It allows you to cross over different generational genres, meaning you can have heirlooms and new things too. It allows rooms that really might feel like they shouldn't be making sense to actually, in fact, make sense. So friend, I want to invite you to grab that free guide. It is a 10-minute-ish video that walks you through how to understand your design style, your aesthetic. You can do that by going to bit.ly/the design guide. And it is the very best place to start, because once you know your design style, you're going to use that as a way, as a filter for some of that decision making. It's not the end all for decision making, but it sure makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. Again, you can grab that free design guide by going to bit.ly/design guide. All right, friend, until next time, I'll see you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.